Before he was the Greek Freak, a back-to-back MVP, and the man who single-handedly ended a 50-year championship drought, Giannis was a kid struggling to survive. He lived in the shadows of Athens, Greece, where the big league seemed impossibly out of reach. While other NBA stars were playing in multi-million-dollar programs and showcased on ESPN at 15, Giannis was on the streets of Greece, selling fake sunglasses and watches to tourists just to help his parents pay rent. He was an undocumented teenager in a country that didn't recognize him, playing a game that didn't even know he existed. This is the story of a kid who shared a single pair of basketball shoes with his brother, and how that same kid grew into a 7-foot monster who earned a $250 million contract. This is the most impossible journey in the history of the NBA. This is the story of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What is your goal for your career?
I want to be an NBA player.
To understand the player Giannis became, you have to understand the hunger he started with. Born on December 6, 1994, Giannis was the third of 5 boys. His parents had moved to Greece in search of a better life, but what they found was a legal nightmare. Because of Greek citizenship laws, Giannis and his brothers were born stateless. They weren't Nigerian, and they weren't Greek. They had no papers, which meant their parents couldn't get steady jobs. The fear of deportation was a dark cloud over their heads every single day. Giannis spent his childhood hustling. He's admitted that he was the best salesman in the family because he was persistent. He'd walk for miles, carrying bags of trinkets, hoping to make enough for a meal at the end of the night. If we didn't sell that night, we wouldn't have food, he once recalled. But in 2008, basketball entered the frame. A local coach named Spiros Villiniadis saw a 13-year-old Giannis and his brother running on a soccer field. He didn't see a basketball player because Giannis couldn't even dribble, but he saw the perception and the potential. He offered to find Giannis's parents better-paying jobs if the boys started playing for his club. Basketball wasn't a dream for Giannis. It was just a job to keep his family alive.
I do this for my family. I don't do this for myself. If I cannot help my family, I don't want to play basketball.
By 2012, word started to leak. In the Greek second division, a league that looks more like a high school gym than a professional circuit, there was a kid with long arms doing things that didn't make sense. He was 6 feet 9 inches with the mobility of a point guard, but there was a problem. Nobody could scout him. Because he was stateless, he couldn't leave Greece to play in international showcases. Scouts had to rely on grainy, 480p YouTube clips that looked like they were filmed on a flip phone. The scouting reports from 2013 are hilarious in hindsight. They called him too skinny, raw, and lacking elite explosiveness. One report even said his ceiling was a role player like Nicholas Batum. Most teams were terrified to draft him. He was the ultimate gamble of the draft. But John Hammond and the Milwaukee Bucks saw something else. They saw a kid who had survived a life of poverty and still had a motor that wouldn't quit. They saw hunger that couldn't be taught. With the 15th pick in the 2013 NBA draft, the Bucks took a gamble that would change the trajectory of their franchise forever.
With the 15th pick in the 2013 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Giannis Antetokounmpo from Athens.
When Giannis arrived in Milwaukee, he was a 190-pound, 18-year-old rookie. He famously sent his paycheck home to Greece and realized he didn't have money for a taxi to the arena, so he started running in the freezing Milwaukee winter until a fan recognized him and gave him a ride. But then, the Greek Freak transformation began. Most humans stop growing at 18. Giannis didn't. Between his rookie year and his 3rd season, he grew another 2 inches, reaching 6 feet 11 inches. But beyond getting taller, he was also getting stronger. He went from a skinny kid who got bullied in the paint to a physical force that looked like he was sculpted out of granite. He won Most Improved Player in 2017. Then he did the unthinkable. He won back-to-back MVPs in 2019 and 2020. He even joined Michael Jordan and Hakeem as the only players to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season.
But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill,
Giannis did come through, but he shockingly came through because it was completely out of character for him to come through because he's not the closer and he was forced.
Yet the critics remained. He has no bag. He just runs and dunks. He can't win in the playoffs. The 2021 finals was the moment the street hustler to superstar narrative reached its peak. After falling behind 2-0 to the Phoenix Suns, Giannis went into another dimension.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for Ayton. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis. Leans in. Knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Phoenix has to foul. And Antetokounmpo throws it down.
In Game 6, with the championship on the line, Giannis produced one of the greatest individual performances in the history of sports. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks. But the most incredible stat from that night? Giannis, a player whose shooting was mocked so much that fans literally timed his free throws with a stopwatch, went 17 of 19 from the charity stripe. He conquered his greatest weakness on the biggest stage imaginable. When the buzzer sounded, the kid who used to sell watches for bread was now a champion and the final's most valuable player.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half-century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
Today, Giannis represents something much greater than a basketball player. He's a global brand with career earnings totaling over $338 million. He has his own shoe line, his own movie, and a legacy that will live forever in Milwaukee. But if you ask him, he'll probably tell you he's still that same kid from Greece. He still plays with the fear that it could all be taken away, and that's what makes him dangerous. He didn't have a head start, and he didn't even have a passport. He just had a dream and a drive that wouldn't quit. And at the end of the day, he's doing pretty well for a street vendor from Greece.